friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark and sell them, hopefully for a profit. Today is Tuesday, October 6th, and I have 9 items that sold in the last 48 hours. Usually I ship daily. I only had 2 sales on Monday. So wait a minute, it's Wednesday, not Tuesday. It's still the 6th. I only had 2 sales on Monday, so I didn't ship yesterday. I did my monthly recap, but today I have a gross sales amount of $251.30. The first 2 items aren't close. This is a little vintage Winnie the Pooh. He winds up and sings, not loudly. He's a little sad. He's really vintage. The Winnie the Pooh. I mean, check out that. That's a really cool tag. Was there a date on him? There was not, but he's pretty old. So anyway, he, when I listed him, I saw some comps that were like $60, so that's what I listed him at. Somebody offered me $42, and as I've had him for a while and I really just want him to have a good home, I accepted that. Honestly, I'm thrilled with that. This is actually something that I got free, so he's going to continue to sing though. This is a wind up. I am going to put him back in the bag just because, I don't know. With clothes, I feel like if they get wet, throw them in the wash. I mean, we wash clothes anyway. But this, I don't know. I just don't want him to get wet if something were to happen. So he sold on Poshmark for $42, like I said. The person who bought him actually sent me a message. It always makes me so nervous, but it was so sweet. She said her daughter had this exact toy when she was a kid, and she was buying it for Christmas, for a Christmas gift for her daughter. And I thought that was amazing. I love that so much. I've had this guy for 9 months. I got him for free, a kind of a unique sourcing experience that I had. It was similar to like an estate sale. And that makes my profit $33.60. Yes, ma'am. This is a little wooden toy camera. I don't know. Oh, I forgot to tell you that the Winnie the Pooh thing did not have any like comp information when I looked it up today. So wooden toy cameras have an average sale price of $10.85 with a whole whopping 6% sell-through rate. I bought this a long time ago at my old favorite thrift store, and I used words like Waldorf and Montessori, which are like educational philosophies that natural wood type things would be valued. All right, I'm gonna crinkle paper. That wasn't as loud as I thought it was gonna be. My cost of goods was really, really low, which is why I bought that, and I thought it was cute and interesting, and sometimes I buy things just because I like them, and I think that that's okay. This sold for $12 on Poshmark. I don't usually like selling things on Poshmark for less than $15 because the fee goes up to $2.95, just like a flat fee, and that makes it a higher percentage. However, as I was doing my shipping this week for eBay, I was realizing that with my promoted listings, I was paying more than 20% anyway, even just with my promoted listing only on 7%. So one, I'd had this for a really long time. Two, I had just figured that out about promoted listings. And so I was like, I'll go ahead and sell this. I had thought about countering to like 15, but I ultimately decided to not. And I only paid 39 cents for it. So that makes my profit $8.66, which I think is fantastic. I think I am planning to title this Reality of Reselling or something like that. And here's the thing. I think that sometimes we make it look good. We make it look easy and simple. And there's a couple issues that I want to address, and I don't want it to sound they're kind of negative, but at the same time, I want to kind of try and reframe this, right? So one thing I was thinking of after I got my video done yesterday with all my my October numbers, I was thinking about how just the way I like titled my video and stuff, and I was like, I hope people don't understand, or I hope people understand that this is not like a get rich quick thing. This takes hard work. There's hours that get put into it. There's monotonous things like listing. Listing is boring. Sorry. These are Vineyard Vine breaker pans. I just sold the other pair of these like 2 days ago. So I don't know. It was weird. I had 2 of them. One sold 2 days ago, and I've had them for like 6 months. These sold for $16. The other one sold for $20. I paid $3.50 for them. The average sale price is $24.50 with a 16% sell-through rate. However, there were no kids ones sold, and these are kids. So I'm happy with $16. I did pay too much for them. I bought them at like a liquidation place, and I shouldn't have paid that much. But I realize that $3.50 feels like a lot to me, but that might feel really low to some people, and that's okay. And that's another one of those reseller realities, right? Is that not everyone's situation is the same. Maybe your cost of goods is way higher, but maybe you find a lot better items than I do. I mean, you're gonna hear a lot of single digits and teens in the, sell-through rate. You're gonna hear a lot of average sale price in $25 or less. I do have one really good sale, and I'm thrilled about it. I mean, like literally. I'm gonna show you. It's next. I think gonna take a minute. I'm not gonna package this up yet. I think I'm just gonna make sure it's not like pilled or anything anywhere. And I had seen like a couple little, there's a couple little hairs, but this is a cashmere dress. Oh, what? Can't even believe it. I found this in the bins. There's nothing wrong with it. Neiman Marcus, 100% cashmere. Turtleneck sweater dress. Amazing. If this was my size, I totally would have kept it. Definitely not my size. Average sale price is $45.18 with a 43% sell-through rate, which is really pretty high. I priced it high. I priced it at like $80, and I think that was based on color size. When I do the research, I just basically usually do basic searches. So I did Neiman Marcus cashmere sweater dress. When I'm comping for listing, I will filter by size, by color, and make sure that I'm right on where I need to be. This sold for $64 on Poshmark. I bought it at the bins, so you pay by the pound at the bins, which is the Goodwill outlet if you're unfamiliar. So I average my cost of goods at $2 per item. My profit is $49.20. I am so excited about that. Something else I bought at the bins is this like tea towel thing. It has a dragony lizard on it. Oh, it's upside down. It says crocodile. Oh, it's a crocodile. And it says dreaming and Australia. And there's a date, 94. I don't know. I found them to set the bins. I thought it was kind of cool. It sold for $15 plus shipping on eBay. They paid a total of $21.45. What I listed was Australia tea towel, and the average sale price was $12.41 with a 4% sell-through rate. I don't know. I sold another one similar to this, but it was Ireland, and that one was linen, I think. Like for sure linen. This doesn't feel like linen. That one was around the same price that it sold for, but it sold a lot faster. This one I've had for 9 months. I got it at the bins. These smaller items I average that I paid about $1 for it. And that makes my profit $11.11. So funny. I don't know. I think stuff like that's cool. It's a little different. This is a linen shirt, a little linen button-up shirt. It has some sparklies on it. The brand is Linen with Love, which was like impossible to find comps because the J. Jill Love Linen brand kept popping up. But linen button-ups in general for women have an average sale price of $20.49 and a 14% sell-through rate. I enjoy selling linen. For me, it's one of those like bread and butter type things for me. Not necessarily a brand, but a material. And cashmere. If I'm gonna find them pretty cheap, I'll go ahead and buy them. So this sold for $15 plus shipping on eBay. They paid a total of $22.25. I've had this for 13 months, which is pretty long. Too long. And I bought it at a garage sale for $2. It makes my profit $11.83. All right, another reseller reality. Stuff takes a long time to sell sometimes. And it can even be like, here's a really good example. I found something when was it? It was whenever we went to Milwaukee. Last fall, my husband and I went to Milwaukee. I found, it was a merino wool base layer, and I can't remember the brand. Something about Prince. I don't remember the brand. Anyway, it had a 100% sell-through rate. It was a Henley. There were like 4 sold and none listed. And I was like, this is gonna sell immediately. It's gonna be amazing. It took 4 months to sell. This is a cardigan. It's kind of fun. It's like got mixed prints on it. It has, I don't know, it's cute. It's BKE gimmicks, which I don't really recommend buying. But about 2 years ago, BKE was selling for me pretty well, and I was buying all the things. This did not sell very well. In that, it took a long time, and it only sold for $13. BKE Gimmicks cardigan has an average sale price of $15.31 with a 10% sell-through rate. I thought it was really cool, just the different prints on there, and I thought that might sell it. I probably needed better keywords. That's a general thing for me. I almost always need better keywords. But it sold for $13 plus shipping. The total they paid was $21.60. I paid 79 cents for it at my new favorite thrift store, and that makes my profit $9.94. All right, I had a couple reseller reality topics that I was going to talk about. The one was, it was really hard work. It's hard. It takes time. One is coming up. returns. I've got returns. Ugh, no bueno. And I had a third one and I don't remember what it was. This is cool. This is a vintage sweater vest. Check out the back. What? It's so amazing. The brand is Capacity. I don't know. It's just really cool. It does have some flaws in it. I probably would have listed this higher had it not had flaws. But since it did, I listed it at $30, which is basically like my basic vintage sweater price. That's what I start everything at. This sold for $20. They sent me an offer for $20. I accepted that. I've had it for 7 months. Sold on Poshmark. I should say that. I've had it for 7 months and I bought it at, there was like an estate sale, garage sale. I bought a ton of vintage clothes there. My average cost of goods when I went to that sale was $2.64. Sometimes I do the exact number that I spend on the item, and sometimes I do an average, and it just depends on like what's easiest for me. If I can do the exact, I will. But on something like an estate sale where I probably bought 30 different items, by the time I got home, I didn't remember what they had priced everything, so I just did an average. So after 7 months, that makes my profit $13.30. So if you watch any of my videos, my last video that I shipped, my last ship with me video, I had 2 vintage sweaters that were basically the same, like different colors and styles. I have another one. So this is the style. This is what's selling. The other 2 sold on Depop for $24. This one sold on Poshmark for $32. I actually had this one listed higher at $40. So the average sale price for, this is what I searched, vintage sweater, crew neck, geometric. Average sale price is $33.81 with a 12% sell-through rate. So anyway, this style is what is selling, at least for me. So here's it's a geometric print with a crew neck. If it's made in the USA, it's better. This one was made in Korea. This one is a larger size, limited edition by Expressions. Fancy. I bought this for 34 cents at my old favorite thrift store, which is amazing. 34 cents is amazing. I've had it for 3 months. Makes my profit $25.26, which is fantastic for a sweater, a vintage sweater. I do love selling those vintage sweaters. I have so many of them. Too many right now. I kind of want to put this in a box. Not for any other reason than it's going to make my life easier. I'm trying to shove it in that Tyvek mailer. I realized I haven't really talked much about like the things that I do for shipping. I don't talk about everything in every video, but I try to kind of hit everything over the course of like a week or so. So if you're new to my channel and you want to go back and watch some videos, or just keep watching, because I do these daily, almost daily. But if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. All right. My profit for the last, this was supposed to be easier. It's not. Okay, my profit for the last 2 days is $171.81. Certainly that cashmere dress made that. This was pretty good. There were a couple items that were pretty good. A couple low ones, but that's okay. It all evens out. I think that was it. that was the other reseller reality that I wanted to touch on, is that there are some really, really good days and there are some really, really bad days. And that can be so frustrating. There's just the ups and downs can really take a toll on, I don't know, for me. I try not to like really affect, I don't want to say like my mental health, but my emotional health maybe. There are some days that I'm just like, oh my word, this is amazing, it's going so well. And then there are some days that can last multiple days or even weeks or months where you're like, or for me, I'm saying this for me, I can be like, what am I doing wrong? Why is nothing selling? And that can be really, really frustrating and daunting. But I want to encourage you to not give up. That, if this is something that you're enjoying and you have the time and the space for it, then keep going. It's worth it in the long run, I think. So I actually have 2 returns. This is a hydraulic skirt that I'm actually debating whether I should even put back in my inventory. It only sold for like $11 or something. They returned it for fit. This makes me sad. This is a suit. It's a Ralph Lauren suit. This is the second time it's been returned for fit. I'm just like, it's so frustrating. Just a nice wool suit, but that was $80 that I had to return. The reality of it is my returns are 3%. It's actually less than 3%, like 2.9 something of my sales. So for every 100 items I'm selling, only 3 are being returned. I actually have 2 more in process, so it feels like a lot right now. That it's another, part of reselling and just selling in general. I mean, eBay takes returns, or not eBay, sorry, Amazon takes returns, Walmart takes returns. Like, that's just kind of the culture of the US, is returns are expected. And it can feel really, really frustrating, but I think in the long run it's okay. It's just part of the culture of selling, and while it can be frustrating, it's this much of the overall thing. So while I feel like it can be frustrating, I try to let it only be frustrating for 3% of the time, right? Not to let it overcrowd 97% of my reselling experience. So I would love to know what kind of reseller realities are very real to you. And if you have anything you want to add to the list, I know there are more things that, maybe YouTubers, maybe me even, just kind of gloss over or forget to mention or purposefully leave out. What is a reseller reality for you? Let me know. If you have nothing to add to the conversation, at least say hi in the comments. I would really appreciate that. Make sure you like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said, I do these videos daily as much as I can to just kind of show you what actually sells. And yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. I'll see you soon.